If you received a letter today from the you of 6 months ago, would you want to read it, or would you immediately hide it in a drawer?
Oh, hide it.
Yeah.
I mean, I am terrified of what my past self expected of me by now.
Really?
Oh, absolutely. I probably read it, realize I haven't accomplished half of it, and then, spiral into a panic right before my 9 a.m. budget meeting.
That is the terrifying yet totally beautiful reality of the Future Me exercise, which we are unpacking today. Welcome, everyone, to this deep dive into the Academia BSB English Conversations course.
Yes, welcome.
Today is Wednesday, July 8th, and we have an incredible methodology to get through.
We really do. And for those of you listening while commuting or doing the dishes right now, let's quickly frame how this works. Academia BSB uses a highly systematic approach.
Right.
We take the academic sheet and we use it to systematically review the class notes. We don't just read them, we deconstruct them to figure out exactly why the English language behaves the way it does.
Exactly. It's like taking apart an engine to see how it runs.
Yeah.
And because we are so passionate about this, we tend to speak fast and dynamically.
Very fast.
But don't worry, when we hit a crucial English term, we are going to intentionally, in lows, dare WWN.
Right. Because we know who you are. You are that late night student.
Exactly.
You're incredibly capable, but you are busy. You're navigating a demanding job, maybe family responsibilities, and just the daily grind. We're here to make your study time relentlessly efficient.
Relentlessly efficient. I love that. So giving you a quick summary, today is all about expectations for the future, tied together with a profound sense of gratitude.
Which, frankly, is a state of mind I completely forget to inhabit when my boss is breathing down my neck about quarterly projections.
It is so easy to lose the big picture in the corporate jungle. But that's why our source material today is so powerful. We are looking at a brilliant concept from the Future Me blog.
Right, the letter writing.
Yes. It details the psychological power of writing a letter to your future self. It's not just a cute journaling exercise. It is a strategic tool to track your goals, check your focus, and practice gratitude. It really helps cut through the messy, unpredictable madness of life.
It really does. The blog even jokes about those random bursts of motivation we get. You decide in a quiet moment that you're going to learn how to bake the perfect pie from scratch, right?
The Banoffee pie face.
Yes. And then a month later, you're eating dry cereal for dinner because you lost all momentum. Writing a letter to your future self cuts through that madness. It anchors you.
Beautifully said. And here is the listener connection. Learning English, putting in this hard work tonight, is exactly like writing a letter to your future self.
Totally.
It's an investment. Your future self is going to open that metaphorical letter and thank you for not giving up.
Yeah.
But, to write to the future, you need the right building blocks. You need the vocabulary.
Right. So let's get into the words for the current class, section 1.1 of the class notes. And we aren't just going to read a list. We are going to organize your mental toolbox.
Exactly.
Let's start with adjectives, which are the words that paint the picture of the nouns.
We have 3 key adjectives today. Ready? Rich, poor, strange.
Let's slow those down and give the Brazilian Portuguese translations so you can link them in your brain. Rich, meaning rico, poor, meaning popore, and strange, meaning estranho.
Perfect. And notice how these words carry so much weight depending on the context. If you say someone is rich, it usually means money. But an experience can be rich too. Poor is a lack of money, but also a lack of quality. And strange is just anything outside of your normal routine.
Right. And then we have one noun here, a person. Teenager.
Teenager or adolescent.
Someone between the ages of 13 and 19. Basically the absolute most chaotic phase of human existence, if you ask me.
Oh, come on. Teenagers are great. They're like the new branches on the family tree. They're just figuring out the world.
I mean, sure, from a safe distance.
Fair enough. Now, here's where it gets highly mechanical. We have a set of action verbs, but notice that they all require a specific little word attached to them. They need the preposition to.
Yes. Let's list them. Return, come back, to go to travel to arrive to.
Wait, I'm putting myself in the shoes of the student here. I often hear people get confused by this. Why do these specific verbs need the word to hovering around them? What is its actual function?
It's all about direction. Think of the preposition to as a tiny linguistic arrow. When you travel, you don't just travel into a void, right?
Right.
You travel toward a destination. The word to is the arrow pointing at that destination. You go to the office, you travel to London, you arrive to a conclusion, it creates a bridge.
I love that metaphor, the arrow pointing at the target.
Hmm.
Now, a single word is just a brick we need to build a house. Let's construct some example sentences using 2 of those words at a time.
Oh, I like this game.
I'll go first. Let's see. The teenager will travel to the beach.
Oh, that is so wholesome.
Yeah.
Very sweet, very picturesque. My turn. Let's see. It is strange to return poor.
Oh, wow, okay. A bit cynical, but grammatically flawless.
Hey, I'm just reflecting the harsh economic realities of adult life. You go on an amazing vacation, you spend absolutely all your money, and you return to your apartment and realize you can't afford groceries. It is strange to return poor. It's highly relatable.
I can't argue with the logic.
Well,
We've talked about the future. Let's smoothly transition our focus back to the past class, section 1.2, because the vocabulary there sets up a completely different scenario.
right?
It revolves entirely around family dynamics.
Family dynamics.
Right.
Which, let's be honest, can be its own unique brand of messy madness.
I have to disagree again. I love family. A massive family reunion is like a beautiful, sprawling forest. You have the deep roots, the new branches. Sure, it's chaotic when 50 people are trying to share one tiny kitchen to make Sunday lunch, but it's wonderful. It's pure connection.
Yeah, wonderful. Meanwhile, I'm the one literally hiding in the bathroom at the family reunion just to avoid certain relatives who keep asking why I work so much and when I'm going to settle down.
Oh, the dreaded interrogation.
Exactly. But let's review these terms because they are crucial for everyday conversation.
Let's start with the core partnerships. Husband, wife, spouse, relationship.
I really want to highlight the word spouse here. It is such an incredibly efficient word. Instead of guessing if someone has a husband or a wife, spouse is a gender-neutral aggregate term. It means your legally married partner. You see it on corporate paperwork all the time.
Exactly. Then we have the generational words. Grandparents, parents, children, daughter, son, siblings, relatives, mom, dad.
Let's talk about siblings. This is another brilliant shortcut in English. In many Romance languages, if you want to refer to the children of your parents, you have to use a gendered plural, like brothers, which implies everyone is male, or you say brothers and sisters, which just takes too long. Siblings is the ultimate aggregate word. It just means anyone who shares your parents, regardless of gender. It saves so much time.
It really does. Now, we also have 3 absolute wild card words in this vocabulary list. Coworker, herbs, pacifier.
Okay, a coworker is essentially the family you don't choose at the office. A pacifier is that little rubber soothing device you give a baby to stop them from crying, which I honestly sometimes wish I could give to my coworkers. But herbs. Why is herbs in the family vocabulary list?
Because every big family has that one uncle or grandparent who is obsessed with their garden. They're constantly offering you fresh basil or mint at the reunion. It's a staple of family life.
Okay, I'll accept that. Now let's talk about how to actually use these words in the Unit 35 exercises. For a lot of students, opening a workbook and seeing a page of scrambled sentences is totally paralyzing.
It could be scary, yeah.
But you don't have to feel overwhelmed by this. It's not a mystery. It's a mechanical formula.
Exactly like building a machine. Let's look at the best path to tackle this. For the first exercise, you have to rearrange scrambled words. The formula is always the same. Find the subject first. Who is doing the action?
Right.
Then add the word will. Then the verb. Then the object. So if you have the words chef as be, a, will, interesting, working.
Okay.
You find the subject, which is working as a chef. Add will, add be. Add the object, interesting. It becomes working as a chef will be interesting.
Spot on. It's just snapping puzzle pieces into a pre-cut frame. Then, for rewriting sentences into the short negative form, you just take the words will not and literally crush them together into the contraction won't.
Yes.
So, I will be at work tomorrow seamlessly becomes I won't be at work tomorrow.
And for matching questions to short answers, it's basically a mirror trick. Just look at the pronoun in the question. Will you apply for the job? Matches perfectly with yes, I will or no, I won't. You are just mirroring the pronoun. We confirm this answer key to reassure you if you follow this mechanical formula, you cannot fail.
Okay, let's take a step away from the textbook theory and step into section 3, language usage, the actual corporate jungle. Because knowing the grammar is one thing, but knowing how to survive office politics is another.
Absolutely true. Let's run through these real-world phrases. I got money in the bank. I don't know, maybe, a little bit. Water cooler talk. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't.
I want to unpack water cooler talk for a second because the cultural context here is fascinating. In American office culture, the water cooler or the coffee machine is the modern equivalent of the watering hole in the savannah.
That's a great way to put it.
It's the one neutral territory where the CEO and the intern might accidentally stand next to each other. It's where informal information, rumors, and bonding happen. Conversa de corredor, essentially.
It's the unofficial heartbeat of the company.
Yeah.
But how do we actually use these phrases naturally? Let's do a quick role play so you, the listener, can hear the prosody, the tone, and the pitch. Listeners, imagine the expert speaker here as a highly stressed, over-caffeinated corporate worker who just stepped away from her desk for a sip of water.
I don't even have to act for this one. This is just my Tuesday.
And I am your annoyingly optimistic, high-energy colleague walking up to the water cooler. Ready?
Let's do it.
Hey, good morning. Wow, big day today. Are you ready for that massive presentation to the board of directors this afternoon?
I don't know, maybe. My boss keeps changing the slides, and I can't look at another spreadsheet.
Well, hey, look on the bright side. At least we get our bonuses next week. They're paying us really well for this project, right?
I got money in the bank. A little bit. Barely enough to cover my exorbitant coffee addiction at this point.
So you'll be working late again tonight to finish it up.
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Today,
Yeah.
I am running out the door at 5 p.m. sharp. I'm done.
That is painfully relatable. The tension is so palpable. But notice something crucial in that exchange. To successfully engage in that water cooler talk about tomorrow's deadlines or next week's bonuses, we had to use the future tense.
Right.
Which brings us to the absolute core of our communication today in Section 5, grammar.
Yes. The Unit 35 PDF thoroughly breaks down the future simple tense. It is entirely centered around the word will. I will come, you won't go. Will you go?
Wait, I'm going to challenge this for a second because I know ESL students struggle here. In Romance languages, if I want to talk about the future, I just change the ending of the verb itself. It's built in. Why does English need this separate extra word will floating around? It feels clunky. Why not just change the verb?
I completely understand why it feels strange at first, but I promise you it is not clunky. It's actually an incredibly efficient piece of engineering. Think of the English language like a power drill.
A power drill. Okay, I'm listening.
Yes. The main action verb, like go, eat, work, is the drill itself. It's the heavy machinery. But the auxiliary verbs, words like DD, DO, and will, are the drill bits.
Oh, I see where you're going with this.
In a Romance language, you basically have to buy a whole new drill every time you want to drill a different sized hole. You have to memorize dozens of different verb conjugations and endings for every single subject.
The conjugation tables are endless.
Exactly. But English is Germanic, it's modular. You keep the exact same drill, the verb work, you don't change it. You just snap off the past tense drill bit, DID. You snap on the future tense drill bit, will, and suddenly you are drilling into the future. It's totally interchangeable.
That is a brilliant analogy. It connects perfectly to our school's mnemonic systems, the pen drives mentés, those mental flash drives you plug into your brain. You just load the right software.
Yes. Well, let's visualize that mechanism. When you talk about the past, your auxiliary drill bit is D-Day.
Click. I did go.
When you talk about the present, your auxiliary drill bit is DO.
Click. I do go. And when you are looking at the future, your auxiliary drill bit is will.
Click. I will go. Snap it into place. D will. It's mechanical, it's reliable, you can use it in the boardroom, at the grocery store, or in an academic paper.
And because English prioritizes speed, especially in spoken corporate settings, we love contractions. We take two words and squeeze them together. I will becomes all, he will becomes he'll, we are becomes where, they are becomes there. It just lubricates the gears of the language so you can speak faster.
Which leads us perfectly into Section 7, writing, where we put those mechanical gears to the ultimate test. It is time to look at a student's actual writing. And oh my goodness, we have to talk about VIP student THAIZA's first draft.
Oh, yes.
It is a masterpiece of modern literature.
It truly is. In her essay titled, "What are your plans for the future?" THAIZA wrote, "My Uncle Yudes loves herbs. My name is THAIZA. I am kinda old. I don't have a relationship at the moment."
The raw honesty is just breathtaking. She goes on to say she is completely overwhelmed at work. She almost canceled the class, which THAIZA, we have all been there, zero judgment.
100%.
And next Saturday, she plans to drink alcohol and travel to Sao Paulo.
But here's where it gets highly specific and absolutely amazing. She says, "I think I will be rich in the future. I will have 2 husbands, but I won't have children."
2 husbands, 0 kids.
I'm sorry, I have to break character here for a second because I'm obsessed with this vision. THAIZA. 2 husbands to do the chores, 0 kids, and wait, there's more. She says, "In the future, I will live in a big house because of my dog. For me, an apartment is enough, but my dog needs more space."
The dog gets the mansion.
Yes. And then she randomly, aggressively clarifies, Anna is not my friend, she is my acquaintance.
She drew a very firm boundary with Anna.
THAIZA is my absolute hero. The giant dog mansion, the 2 husbands, putting Anna in her place. It is a lifestyle brand I would subscribe to.
It is hilarious. But let's bring it back to earth and analyze why THAIZA wrote this from an academic perspective. What is the purpose of this writing exercise? Your task as a student is to propose different answers using the vocabulary we learned today. But here's the golden rule, and it's a scientifically backed memory trick. Your answers do not need to be true about your real life.
In fact, making up bizarre, exaggerated stories is actually better for your brain. It's called the isolation effect. Bizarre things stick in your memory way longer than boring, everyday facts.
Exactly. We don't care if you actually want 2 husbands. We only care that your sentences are, and use this term verbatim, grammatically correct, semantically complete, and scientifically accurate.
Right, let's define that. Grammatically correct means your English gears, did, will, are snapped into the right place. Semantically complete means the sentence has a subject, a verb, and an object, so it paints a full picture. And scientifically accurate simply means the logic of the sentence reflects the physical rules of reality. You can invent a story about having a giant doghouse on Mars as long as the mechanical structure of the language holds up under pressure.
Beautifully said. Now, speaking of holding up under pressure, let's look at the class stats, because the data we are seeing from you, the student, is phenomenal. Let's unpack these metrics. Today alone, we saw a vocabulary growth of 8 new words.
Yes, which pushes your comprehensive lexicon repertory to a fantastic 62 words. And let's demystify that jargon. Your lexicon repertory is simply your personal toolbox of words that you can summon on command. You now have 62 reliable tools in that box.
You also had 55 minutes of active speech engagement. You were talking, you were trying, you were actively running the engine of the language.
And your listening wavelength is massive. 5 hours, 48 minutes, and 15 seconds.
Wow.
Think of wavelength as your total immersion time across all the Acad FM class podcasts. That is nearly 6 hours of your brain marinating in the sounds, rhythms, and prosody of English.
But here's the stat that blew me away. You achieved an impeccable phonetic deviation ratio of 0%. 0.
Let's explain what that actually means. A phonetic deviation ratio of 0% isn't just a fancy academic number. It means your pronunciation is hitting the absolute center of the bullseye every single time. No mispronounced vowels, no dropped consonants. When you speak, the sounds are crisp and exact.
What's truly fascinating here is what this data represents in the real world. By firmly grasping the future auxiliary will and maintaining that 0% deviation, you are solidly marching down the path of the Common European Framework of Reference for Languages, the CEFR.
Right. And the CEFR isn't just a piece of paper or certificate. It is a map of how your brain processes reality in a new language.
Yeah.
You are officially moving from basic survival-level comprehension into the ability to project your abstract thoughts into the future.
It's huge.
That is a massive cognitive leap. You aren't just reacting to the present anymore, you are building tomorrow.
So I want to take a moment to speak directly to you, the person listening to this right now. We know exactly who you are. You might be a highly capable secretary dealing with endless piles of paperwork and demanding phone calls. You might be an empowered woman balancing a fierce career and a busy household. You might be a devoted pet owner, just working hard to afford a bigger house with a yard for your dog, just like THAIZA.
You are that late-night ESL student. We know the reality of your situation. You are under immense pressure. Bosses change their minds. Coworkers cause drama. The water cooler talk is exhausting. You are tired. Your time is precious.
But we are here to tell you, with constant, warm, unwavering support, you are doing it. Every single minute you spend listening to this methodology, every time you practice saying will instead of do, you are turning the wheel in the right direction. This hard work is building an unshakable foundation. You are not just surviving, you are succeeding. We are so incredibly proud of you.
Deblu, we really, truly are. Never forget the value of what you're doing right now. Which brings me back to the very beginning of our deep dive, that future me concept. I want to leave you with one final, slightly provocative thought to chew on before your next class.
Lay it on us.
Think about the physical sensation of sitting at your desk tonight, fighting through the exhaustion to understand the grammar rules we just discussed. If you wrote a letter to yourself tonight documenting the fatigue, the confusing vocabulary, the sheer effort it takes to learn this language, would the you of 6 months from now open that letter, read it, and be intensely grateful that you pushed through this exact moment?
I guarantee you, without a shadow of a doubt, the answer is yes. They will look back at this exact night and thank you. Because you aren't just memorizing grammar rules, you are unlocking doors for your future self. At the end of the day, as our Academia BSB motto says so perfectly, it is not only about the language, it's all about communication.
E como dizemos com tanto orgulho, não é só sobre o idioma, é tudo sobre comunicação. Keep pushing forward, keep building your future. And we will see you in the next deep dive. Keep those gears turning.